Any questions regarding the what? Okay, yes, what's the question? It should be just click it on it should work. The link's in it's in it's in trivia discussion. Oh no. Everyone please go to your channels. Unless if you're not part of a team, then you're welcome to sit in here and spectate. Seb, shut up. Donald, I would recommend not streaming your answers. I can see Google. I can see Donald has the Google form open underneath St. Thomas the Apostle. So I'm just gonna recommend heavily that he stops that. There is a stream. Stream link is posted in the. Where is it? It's posted above. It's the thing that's the very pixelated Edric symbol from Dragon Quest. I will explain it when everyone is in their room. Then we will use the trivia discussion. What's the name you want it to be? It is in fact trivia, Toby. Yes. Yeah, I don't know who Laura is or who Sneed is, and I don't know what they're expecting to because they wouldn't sign up for a team. But okay, yes, I will be explaining it. Just give me a few, like a minute, because I'm still waiting for some people to come in. And I know I talk with my hands a lot, but and the stream's a little bit delayed. But whatever, it will work out. Okay, so we're starting about 12 minutes after when I was intending to. 13 minutes probably when it goes. Yes, you're free to spectate, I guess. 13 minutes after when I was hoping to. Basically, let's go over the rules of the game, everyone. It's trivia night. The way that the game works is simple. You and everyone on your team is a team of two people. Different genders, male, female, all that stuff, whatever have you. Rules are simple. 4 rounds, if I can show hands correctly. 4 rounds, 10 questions. You get 1 round's points doubled of your choosing. I will repeat questions if you ask at the end of the round. Obviously, no outside sources. You can only choose to have the round's points doubled if you pick that before you submit the answers. You don't get to retroactively go back at the end of a round and go, "Oh, we scored 8 or 9 out of 10. We want this double." You have to lock it in with confidence. Let me just switch over to Twitch chat and give us or OBS chat and see if I just have anything coming in from anyone yet, just in terms of responses. Yes, no, everyone getting it? Donald, I will start it once I have confirmed that everyone has in fact got it. Unfortunately, this is the issue with Twitch streaming or YouTube streaming. It's a little bit delayed. Good to hear you love the number 4. I love the number 4 as well. Entire round, Kyle. You can have the entire round points doubled, so a round of 10 points is actually up to 20 if you double that round. Jess/Tolkien has a very good point. Trash talk in trivia discussion or get out. That's half the fun. You got to trash talk in there. You got to smack talk the other team. Whoever has the best smack talking, I don't know. They'll get a special congratulations from me for most clever insult they come up with. Any other questions that anyone has? Just so everyone's aware, it might be easier if you just send me the messages through Discord directly versus the YouTube chat because it seems to be acting up a little bit at the moment. And because I'm having to switch between the PowerPoint, the YouTube chat, and Discord to make sure everything's working properly. So I'm just going to give everyone a minute just to. If anyone has any questions, just shoot them right now. I will give you. It's currently 6:15. Let's say I'll give you till 6:16 just for any last questions going over it. Good to see the Trash Talk game has already begun in full force. Okay, we'll take a minute for Nick. I don't know what your username on Discord is, but we'll take a moment for it. Also add Stella. Are you part of a team or are you not? I thought you were. Oh bother. Okay. Okay. Toby, come on, come on. Okay. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into it. Tonight's topics, as I mentioned last week and sent out last week for some preparation, is Nerd School. Oh, when the Saints. Beneath Our Eyes. Beyond Our Size. Viva la Revolution. A History of Courtship. I poured in my pronunciation of the following, but it was meant to be a very bad pun. Take Moya Sente Zoom Diego de Pelota, which is national sports. And for our next dish, projecting an image, and let's end on a high note. Question number 1 of round 1. Is Nerd School in the wizarding world of Harry Potter? Each country or region has a school that is for wizards and witches. The British Isles have Hogwarts. France has Beauxbatons. I can't pronounce it, it's French, I'm sorry. And the United States has this school and its 4 houses, most prominently referenced in the film Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. On to question 2. Owen the Saint. This 20th century saint, who lived her life serving as a nun in India, holds two first records of sainthood for her, being the first saint of Indian origin and the first saint of the Syro-Malabar Church. Her feast day is celebrated on the 28th of July. I have a lovely picture of her for you to use as a reference. You might know her, you might not. I was trying to do some research on this, reading into saints beyond just this. Thought it was a nice thing to just do as a nice touching point. Beneath her eyes. We all know that everything is made up of atoms, which are in turn made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons, which are in turn made up of quarks. Of these, there are 6 types. I want you to give me 2 types. There's 6, just give me 2. If you give me all 6, I won't give you extra points, but I'll be impressed nonetheless. Likewise, question 4 is beyond her size. The 7 summits is a term used of the highest mountain on each of the 7 continents. 2 of the examples are Mount Everest and Kilimanjaro. Everest in Asia, Kilimanjaro in Africa. Can you name me a third? Again, there's 7 of them, at least 7, depending upon who you ask. I just want 1. Let's not Everest or Kilimanjaro. If you put that down, I will not accept it. Viva la Revolution. Per Livy, the Roman Revolution, dated to 509 BC, replaced the monarchy of the time with what form of government instead? Again, per Livy, the Roman Revolution, dated to 509, replaced the monarchy of Rome at the time with what form of government instead? Question 6, a history of courtship. The idea of courting your significant other is nothing new to us here today, but the British took it one step further. It was common for them to put this fruit on them, letting it soak up their sweat before presenting it to their loved one as a token of affection. This one was kind of gross, honestly, but who doesn't love the good smell of sweat-stained fruit? Nothing quite like it. Take mo asunta zum Diego de Pelota, the national sports category, has the first question be Canada is one of a handful of countries in the world to have 2 sports. One for summer, one for winter. Winter is ice hockey. But what's Canada's summer sport? Again, we're looking for a sport that is not Canada's winter sport, which is ice hockey. And for our next dish, the Canadian donair, Greek hero, and Arabic shawarma all share a common food ancestor in kebab, which originated in what country? I'm looking for a country. You can give me the name of what it was called back then, or the modern name of it, but country is specifically what I am looking for here. Projecting an image. Bryan Cranston was originally opposed in his casting of Walter White in Breaking Bad by AMC, largely due to his history as a lead in what sitcom as a bumbling dad? It's kind of amazing to me that they denied him given what role he did and how well he did it, but that's typecasting for you. And finally, our last question of the round is let's end on a high note. Give me 1 second while I grab my phone, because I have the lyrics on here. I didn't memorize all of them, unfortunately, but I know the tune, mostly. This 1982 musical, a loose adaptation of a 1960 horror film, ends decidedly not on a high note, as instead audiences sung the following warning by the lead characters. Oh no. They're spectating. I don't know why. But the trivia question, or the lyrics is, they may offer you fortune and fame, love and money and instant acclaim, but whatever they offer you, don't feed the plants. They may offer you lots of cheap thrills, fancy discos in Beverly Hills, but whatever they offer you, don't feed the plants. Frederica, what do you mean you crashed? Yeah, okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is what I get for speaking naturally fast paced. That's the musical, Kyle. That's the line. That's the lines of the musical. No, that's the line of the musical. I want you to name the musical. I will start over from the beginning, and this time I will do it slower, but I'm not going to. How slow is slow enough for you guys? Because that's the thing. I naturally talk fast, I naturally speak fast, and I'll go over all the questions because, evidently I have to pace this and I have to figure out where the correct pace for this is. But let's go back to the start then. Nerd School is question one. In the wizarding world of Harry Potter, each country or region has a school that is for wizards and witches. The British Isles has Hogwarts, France has Barbatons, and the United States has this school and its four houses, most prominently referenced in the film Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Let me open up Discord on my phone to see if it's fat, to see if I have any issues with speed right now. We are redoing it from step one, yes, because, evidently I speak too fast. 15-second timer? I will do a 15-second timer, Majima. Owen the Saints. This 20th century saint, who lived her life serving as a nun in India, holds two first records of sainthood for her, being the first saint of Indian origin and the first saint of the Syro Malabar Church. Her feast day is celebrated on the 28th of July. I'm going to leave this up here for 15 seconds. Feel free to read it, go over it, think about it. Let me just see if there's any other questions. 15 seconds is too much. Yeah, trust me, I think 15 seconds is too much as well. But okay, I'll do it as 10 then. I'll read the question, leave it on screen for 10. Beneath our eyes, we all know that everything is made up of atoms, which is made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons, which are in turn made up of quarks. Of these, there are six types. I want you to give me two of them. Beyond our size, the Seven Summits is a term used for the highest mountain on each of the seven continents. Two examples of them are Mount Everest in Asia and Kilimanjaro in Africa. I want you to give me a third example. Can you name a third, is what I say specifically on this slide. but I just want a third example. There's at least there's a handful you can give me. Any of them should work. Viva la Revolution. Per Livy, the Roman Revolution, dated to 509 BC, replaced the monarchy of the time with what form of government instead? A history of courtship. The idea of courting your significant other is nothing new to us here today, but the British took it one step further. It was common for them to put this fruit on them, letting it soak up their sweat, before presenting it to their loved ones as a form of affection. The national sports category, Canada is one of a handful of countries in the world to have two sports, one for summer, one for winter. Winter is for ice hockey, but what is Canada's summer sport? I really should just get an egg timer for this. Will give me something to do with my hands. The questions instead. And for our next dish, the Canadian donair, Greek hero, and Arabic shawarma all share a common food ancestor in kebab, which originated in which country? I'm looking for the name of the country. If you want to a name it was called in the past or the name of what is called in the present, either works. Projecting an image. Bryan Cranston was originally opposed by AMC in his casting as Walter White in Breaking Bad, largely due to his history as a lead in what sitcom as a bumbling dad? Can you please not play the knocking sound when I'm trying to do? Let's end on a high note. This 1982 musical, a loose adaptation of the 1960 horror films, ends decidedly not on a high note, as instead audiences are sung the following warning by the lead characters. The warning is, as I will repeat again for singing purposes, Bryan Cranston was question 9 for King, who I'm just now seeing the comments of in the chat. They may offer you fortune and fame, love and money and instant acclaim, but whatever they offer you, don't feed the plants. They may offer you lots of cheap thrills, fancy discos in Beverly Hills, but whatever they offer you, don't feed the plants. I'm going to leave it up on this while I see how everyone's submissions are going. Any further questions? I would highly recommend watching both, honestly. Okay. Give me one moment while I do the marking on this. Piece of a villa. I'm having to double check something because unfortunately one of the issues with one of these questions is that there was more than 5 possible answers. I wrote down 5. Okay, okay, yep. Okay, that's one of those issues where there's technically 2 names for it. Oh, I did not check to see if people wanted their scores doubled. Okay, no, that's not on that one. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow! For a team that did not want to double their score, they are currently. John. No, we're not done with trivia. I'm having to I'm having to tally up the scores for the round. I I had to repeat my questions twice because people didn't hear them fast enough. But okay, and also like if I didn't have to repeat every single question, this would have been done relatively sooner. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, wait, that's not 7. That's 6. 1, 2. Mm, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, did I have one group submit 2 questions? Or 2 responses? Team Balthazar, I'm looking at you. Team Balthazar, I'm looking at you. Did one of you submit your questions twice? Because I've got 2 responses labeled Team Balthazar. Frederica, as I've said, please send the. If you need a slow round, just do not submit your questions twice. Just. Okay. Let me let me recalculate your score then, because yeah, I said at the beginning, I said I will repeat the questions. There's literally on the slide that I said at the beginning when everyone should have been watching. Okay. Eight. I will technically take the latest one for this. Just do not do it again, because this was a pain in the posterior to recalculate. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did Team St. Thomas Aquinas not show up? Or do I have. I have a Team St. Thomas Aquinas with no one in it. Okay, that's fun. Yeah, and then there was one with Caleb and I thought that was Team St. Thomas the Apostle. And I think to double check names, because this is the fun part of the English language. Is it technically one of them? Ah, okay. I wish I could give you points for that one, because you're technically correct on it, minus the fact that the question does say one thing. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Just give me 1 second. 2, 3, 4. Double checking the list. Okay, scores are fixed now that I was alerted to Mendicus's oopsie, which I will just fix really quickly by just erasing that response from it. So you just submit in Form 2 next time. Actually, I'll do the scores first just so everyone's aware of it. Score. Yep. I know it's not working. Is it working now? Give it like 12 seconds. Is my mic working on stream now, everyone? Respond. Okay. Okay. As I said, or as I was trying to say, current score standing is Team St. Albert has 8 points. Team St. Teresa of Avila has 5. Team St. Therese of Lisieux has 5. Team St. Isidore has 5. Team St. Thomas the Apostle has 4. Team St. Joan of Arc, which I'm not going to bother trying to pronounce the French pronunciation because I can't be bothered at times, has 12. Team St. Patrick has 6. Team St. Balthazar has 8. Team St. Jude has 6. No, sorry. Team St. John has 6. Team St. Jude has 4. That's his round 4. Okay, 1 second. This should have been round 1. I'm just going to casually move that ahead. Pay no attention to the next few seconds. What am I doing? Round 2. Yeah, I know you can read. I wasn't meaning to disrespect y'all. But, everything can change, everything can happen, everything can go different ways in terms of how it ends up working out. But anyways, let's go on to round 2. As Mikey has generously liked the document, I will ask you all to please only use the round 2 document. Please. I thank you, Mikey, for you using it. I cannot specify that enough. But round 2. Oh, when the Saints. When you're looking for an early church saint to celebrate the end of June with, there's only one saint for you to call, who shares his feast day with another early church father we should all know. I'm going to leave it up on screen for 10 seconds, as was previously mentioned, per the run through of the first time. This way you guys can have an ample chance to read it. And I will be repeating all of these at the end of the round. Do not submit again unless if you are confident in your answers. If you want me to repeat something, just ask. Beyond our size, we, as humans, fall underneath the idea of species on the taxonomic rank, lowest on the totem pole. Above us, in ascending order, is genus, family, order, class, phylum, kingdom, and what final term? Added in 1990. A history of courtship. In colonial America, there was a stage of courtship called bundling, where a man and a woman would share a bed together, completely clothed, with the term coming from what item that would also be in the bed. And for our next dish, this popular junk food, well not true, has a common myth about it being first created by a frustrated chef who decided to make his customers' fries as thin as possible. Is it what? No, no, no. It's a junk food thing, not a particular chain of fast food. I'm not answering that. Not answering that until it's the end of the round. Nerd School. Miskatonic University is a fictional university on par with Harvard that has appeared in a wide range of media ranging from Scooby Doo to The Avengers, but it first debuted in the writings of which horror writer? In quantum physics, there exists a principle that states roughly that the more certain you are about where something is, the less certain you can be about where it's going, and vice versa. Can you tell me the principle who coined this term, or the scientist who coined this principle? Viva la Revolution, which Catholic astronomer, largely overshadowed by the existence of Galileo, published a work in 1543 that proposed a heliocentric model of the solar system, arguably being the first step towards the scientific revolution. The national sports category, roughly translated as the art of punching and or kicking, this martial art is South Korea's national sport, being one of three martial arts to appear in the Olympic Games. Projecting an image, Robin Williams, best known as a comedic actor, went against type when playing Seymour Sear Parrish in this 2002 American psychological thriller, named after the services he provided working as an employee at Save Mart, a big box department store. And then finally, let's end on a high note. Hopefully this time better than last time. With this 1980s musical chooses to end on the main character's death, with him hearing and saying the following words before passing away, with the song then transitioning into a rendition of the show's main theme. I originally said on this, hearing these words, I'm going to instead. No, I'll do the full thing because otherwise it's a bit short, unfortunately. Come with me, where chains will never bind you. All your grief at last behind you. Lord in heaven, look down on him in mercy. Forgive me all my trespasses and take me to your glory. Take my hand, I'll lead you to salvation. Take my love, for love is everlasting. And remember the truth that once was spoken. To love another person is to see the face of God. It Also, I realized just now as I was going through this that I did not go over what the actual correct answers were for the last one. I will do that for this round just so everyone is aware of what the answers are. Because in the case of some of them for the last round, a lot of you guys had really close answers, but you were off by stuff like not the word being continent, not country. Yeah, it was probably too long, Erica. I know, but there's not a good segue point in it, unfortunately. Okay, I'll go back over the list of them in question order. The key thing to remember is let's end on a high note will always be the last category for this. But let's go back to the start. Oh, when the saints. When you're looking for an early church saint to celebrate the end of June with, there's only one saint for you to call who shares his feast day with another early church father we should all know. Beyond our size, we as humans fall underneath the taxonomic tree. I'm looking for what is the highest term in the taxonomic tree here. If you have any particular questions beyond our size is question 2. A history of courtship, the question about bundling was question 3. And for our next dish, the question about food was question 4. Nerd School was question 5. This was the one about Miskatonic University, the one I gave away as a freebie question, if I'm remembering correctly. So I better see everyone have a correct answer for it. Beneath Our Eyes, the quantum physics question uh, was question 6. Viva la Revolution was question 7. The national sports question 8. Projecting an image, question 9. Make that 9. We are at 9. Okay, I can now officially start the judging successfully. Did, did one of you... Wait, no. This is the one I didn't delete for St. Jude. From last round. Okay. We've got 8. Isidore. Patrick. Balthazar. John of the Cross. Okay, yep, we've got 9 right now. I thought I had all of them, but let's go from the top. No. Why do I have 10 submissions? No, no, no. Frederica, I'm not going to let you do this. This happened once where I sped through stuff. If you submit if you submit in round 2 and you... Okay, no, 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 no. Let me think. Let me think. What team are you in again? St. Isidore? What? Do, do, did, what? Um, you didn't send a second one, Frederica. I I have... Give me 1 second. Like, I have Thomas the Apostle, Saint Isidore, Lasue, Teresa of Avila, Patrick, Jean d'Arc, Balthazar, John of the Cross, Saint Jude, Saint Albert. Do not have a second one from you. No, I don't. Donald, I will move to the next round as soon as I'm done with the calculations. Okay, either he submitted the next one or he didn't, but generally no. I will not disqualify you for it, but if you submit it, make sure you have the answers you want on it before you have it. I do have one from you, yes. I'm double checking something on one of... Yeah. I mean... Okay, now I have to technically go back and see what was put for the other answers on this one. Because if I choose to accept that as an answer, I will accept it as an answer and adjust accordingly. Because it's technically something, even if it wasn't what I was looking for. It Morris has done it before when it comes to walnuts. I now see a second one for Team Isidore, to which I'm going to say, or Team Saint. There's no... Who does... Whoever entered as St. Peter, I'm going to punch you. I will find where you live and I will punch you repeatedly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jesus. 3. Okay, yep. Evidently I made this round too easy for some of you. No. Yes. 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 It's 5. This is Villa. I 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Patrick. Nope. 2. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we are back with the score for what it is, for what the round 2 score is. At Team St. Albert got 8 points this round, with a total point now, or sorry, not 8. Give me 1 second. I think it's 4. I think it's +4. It's not +8. I just couldn't do math. Team St. Therese of Avila got 5. Both Team St. Therese of LaSalle and Team St. Isidore scored a perfect round where they doubled everything. So that's a +20 for both of them. St. Thomas the Apostle got +6, got 6 right. St. Jean d'Arc got +6, but they've already used their double, which is why the double's there. Team St. Patrick got 7 right. Team St. Balthazar got 4 right. Team St. John got 6 right. No, got 5 right, but they doubled. And Team St. Jude, 16, not 6. And Team St. Jude got 3 right, for a total of 7. So currently we're in a fairly tight neck-and-neck race between St. Teresa of Lisieux and St. Isidore. But anyways, let's go over what the answers to those questions are, just so everyone's on the same page. Oh, when the saints. When you're looking for an early church saint to celebrate the end of June with, there's only one saint for you to call, who shares his feast day with another early church father we should know. The way I had written this question, and was intending for this question to go, I was meaning for Paul because of the joke, you better call Saul. However, some of you put down Peter, and because it is technically both him, and this picture has both him and Paul in it, I'm going to let that one go. Because, yeah, it's technically correct. I was intending Saul/Paul, but you did name me a saint that does share the date, that is in the picture, that you is one of the ones you better call, for lack of a better way to put it. Beyond our size, the answer we were looking for here for what's the final term, added in 1990, is domain. I had a hell of a time trying to remember this term, and so when I ended up looking it up, I remembered it was domain, and I kept on wanting to write dominion for some reason, because my brain does not work correct at times. A history of courtship. The item that we were looking for, or what was shared in a bed with people, was either a bundling board, which is what I was intending, or a bundling sack, which several of you put in as answers, but the sack specifically needed to have sticks in it. If you had flowers in it, I'm sorry for whichever team that was. That's not technically close enough. It needed to have wood in it, some form of wood in it for me to count it as something that I'd be comfortable giving an answer to. Because it was traditionally wood. Boards were used, bundles of wood were used, but not flowers, as you put. For our next dish, as almost I think everyone got correct on this one, it's potato chips. This was a myth that had developed in the 1920s, I want to say, from someone in New Jersey. It was a New Jersey chef that had created it, and the myth just goes from there. It's one of the popular misconceptions that I really enjoy debunking, even though it's not that popular these days. Nerd School. Miskatonic University was originally written and originally debuted in the works of the writer H.P. Lovecraft, known for Cthulhu, all that other kind of eldritch stuff. It's appeared in Scooby-Doo, Avengers, a bunch of other weird pop culture stuff that it really has no right being in, given that it's from eldritch horror, but, Lovecraft. Lovecraft finds a way. One of you did put in Miskatonic University as your choice, which I'm sorry, I was looking for the writer. I don't think Miskatonic University wrote Miskatonic University. Unless if... No, I'm not going to entertain that thought. Beneath Her Eyes, the physicist who created this term, that if you know where something is going, you can't tell where it is, and vice versa in terms of how close/accurate you're getting, is Heisenberg. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle is what the principle is called. It's a rough approximation in terms of what I mean. It gets a little bit more complicated at the quantum level, but it's basically what I boiled it down to. Viva la Revolution. Everyone who guessed Copernicus on this, you were correct. Copernicus originally wrote this. The big hint was that he was overshadowed by Galileo, who was kind of a ponce about how he handled the whole heliocentric thing. For national sports, once again, I think almost every team that answered this got it correct. There was one group that put down judo. It is not judo. Judo is, I believe, not South Korean. I believe I don't remember where it's from, but it's Taekwondo. Literally translates to the art of punching and kicking. Projecting an image. This was Robin Williams in the psychological thriller 1 Hour Photo, where he plays a obsessed with a family 1 hour photo clerk at essentially a Walmart. It's a great film. Kind of scary to see Robin Williams in the role, given his reputation as a more comedic type, but, it's still a good film. And the last one, which most people got again, was Les Miserables. The reason for the stand user here, as Donald or Nave put it, is because I was trying to come up with an image that wouldn't immediately give away what the musical was. And apparently Valjean was in Persona at one point. So I just went, screw it, I'm going to use Jean Valjean from Persona as the indication for what it is. I'm just going to see if anyone has any comments or questions in the chat really quick. It doesn't look like as anyone has any comments or questions, but you know, okay, yep, round 3 it is. Love to see the trash talk going on, guys. Absolutely love to see the trash talk. As I said, I'll go over them. I'll try and do it before I actually give out the score this time. I'm just not great at remembering to do it. But round 3, projecting an image. This is one of the free questions. So once again, if you don't know this, I'm going to feel a little bit sad. Um, Leslie Nelson was best known for playing dramatic roles until his lead role in this 1980s parody of disaster movies led him to a career resurgence of him as a comedic lead. I'm going to set the timer on my phone. Trash talk is incredibly Catholic, Abby Cat. I don't know what you're talking about. If you don't trash talk, you're not doing it correctly. Oh, okay, yep, nope, that's what I get for not double checking things. This is what I get for having 2 different feed screens for OBS. First time running this, hopefully issues will be sorted out by the next time. But I am using a PowerPoint, Nick. I'm using one PowerPoint for score, one PowerPoint for the actual clarification on stuff. But yes, as I said, Leslie Nelson was best known for playing dramatic roles until his lead role in this 1980s parody of disaster movies led to a career resurgence with him as a comedic lead, or comedy lead. I'll be very upset if people don't know this, but, you know, it's one hell of a good film. That's all I gotta say. And for our next dish, inspired by butter chicken, food historians Peter and Colleen Grove place the origin of chicken tikka masala not to Southeast Asia, but instead this city in the United Kingdom. Oh, give me 1 second. No, please do not be in here. This is trivia. I'm hosting it in here just so that I'm on the server while I'm hosting it. But I'm St. Albert? Give me 1 second. Oh, bother. Give me 1 second, St. Albert. I think I know what I did. Wait. Bundle 6. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Jess's score because she brought it up, and I just want to make sure I have it correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, okay. Yep. Nope. I can't read. Sorry on that, Jess. Give me 1 second. I knew I put +8 for a reason, and then I just somehow blanked my mind into thinking I hadn't put it for a reason. Yep. Okay. Yep. You're at 6. You're at 16. Yeah. It's trivia night. You you chose to join the trivia chat when. Okay. This literally says the trivia lounge, but okay. Whatever. Yeah. So sorry about that, Jess. You guys are at you guys are at +16, or you guys are at 16, not 8. Um, Abby Cat, which one was yours again? What's your team? Actually, wait, give me 1 second. St. Jude? One, one, two, three. No, Abby, you only got 3 points from that round. You guys did not select double on that. The score for St. Jude, we submitted S1 as S2 typo with the cat emoji face. You guys only got 3 points on that one. It was not Barnabas. It was not Necrotic. Potato chips was the potato chips. Taekwondo and Les Miserables were the three answers you got correct there. Look, Donald, we will be doing this until it is done. But anyways, back to the questions. Chicken tikka masala, as I said. Everyone should have had a chance to read the question, go over it. I'll move on to the next question. As usual, if you have questions at the end, let me know. I will go back to the questions. Take moja suta zum Diego de Pelota, the national sports category. Despite America's love for American football, the national sport of America is instead one it shares with Cuba, with a popular tune for the sport being an inspiration for this tune, or for this category. A history of courtship. In 17th century Wales, it was common for men to showcase their love by giving women this object, usually ornately carved and engraved by the men in question with little reminders of who they were, showcases of affection, all kinds of stuff like that. This is three. No, question four. Question four, Ivana, just for reference. Question 5. Viva la Revolution! The 1688 English Revolution led to the replacement of James II for his daughter Mary II, largely inspired by Protestant fears of a Catholic dynasty forming. Beyond our size, Phobos and Deimos, the twin moons of this planet, are named in relation to their mythological counterparts, where they would follow him into battle. It is a question, Donald. I want you to name the planet. Oh, sorry. I did not phrase it as a question. I want the name of the planet. I was accidentally following Jeopardy rules. Question 7. Beneath our eyes, this part of the cell is what allows for plants to appear rigid and stiff, in contrast to animal cells' more flexible nature, due to lacking this. I want you to name this part of the cell. Again, some of these I accidentally defaulted into Jeopardy mode, and decided that the best way for me to phrase it was to ask it in the form of an answer, which needed a question. You don't have to do the Jeopardy format, I just want to know what part of the cell allows it. Oh, when the Saints. This saint, who we celebrate on December 3rd, is one of the co-founders of the Jesuits and is called one of the greatest missionaries since Paul. Let's see if there's any questions in the YouTube chat. This should be number 8, if my memory is serving correct, King. Should be is the keyword. Let me double check. Nerd School. Students at the fictional Xavier Higher Institute for Higher Learning, while all different races, beliefs, cultures, or even species, are united by what element that they share? And finally, let's end on a high note. The end song of this 2016 musical is as full of nautical nonsense as the main character, featuring such lyrics as the following. Busy day, stopped a volcano, kept the town from frying. We found a way, everything gets better if you keep on trying. A simple sponge can be handy when you're cleaning up spills. Sometimes you need a hero with some management skills. I will wait on this picture for the answers to roll in slash the answers to roll in slash people to ask for repeats. For which one, Kyle? Repeat 2 and 9? Can do. Question 2. And for our next dish, inspired by butter chicken, food historians Colleen Groove and Peter and Colleen Groove place the origin of chicken tikka masala not to Southeast Asia, but instead this city in the United Kingdom. And question 9. I'll just wait on this one just for a second, just so that chat catches up and everything catches up. Nerd School. Students at the fictional Xavier Institute for Higher Learning, while all different races, beliefs, cultures, or even species, are united by what element that they share? Mm, mm, mm. Two, 6. Two, 3. Thomas. Now I get to go back through. Paycheck doesn't need to obtain any points. Doesn't need to obtain any points. That's 8. I am still missing. I'm still missing a response from Team Jude, just for reference. Okay, yep, we just got it in. Let me just calculate the final 2, 3. I'm not going to accept your answer for question 6. You don't get to put 2 planets down. I'm sorry. That's not how this works. You have to pick one planet and stick to it. There's 8 of them to pick from. And actually only 7 because Earth only has 1 moon. Okay, so we'll go over the answers for the questions now in the order in which they were written. Once again, this is one of those things where I had one answer in mind, then some of you put down one answer. I had to look it up and found out no. Once again, apparently they wrote it down in one place as one location, and then they wrote it down in another source as another one. So let's go from the top. For projecting image, Leslie Nielsen was best known for playing dramatic roles, until his lead role in the 1980s parody of disaster films, Airplane, led to a career resurgence for him as a comedic lead. It later led to him being a Naked Gun, like some of you wrote down, but it was not Naked Gun that caused him to become a comedic lead. For our next dish, inspired by butter chicken, food historians Peter and Colleen Groove place the origins of chicken tikka masala not to Southeast Asia, but instead of this city in the United Kingdom. So when I was preparing for this, looking up answers and making sure that everything would be correct, the source that I found said that they put it down as Edinburgh or Edinburgh. Then when I was just double checking one of the answers that somebody else put down, I got Glasgow as an answer. So I'm not sure if I've just swapped dimensions or something, but I'm going to take both as potential answers because both are in Scotland. Both are in Scotland and both are specifically. I hate to be that person that doesn't know English geography that well. They're relatively close enough that I can consider them to be not equivalent, but if you're naming Edinburgh and you mean Glasgow, you're still naming a city in Scotland in the United Kingdom, as opposed to naming Manchester or London, like some people did. Um, the national sport of America that it shares with Cuba is baseball, because Take Moya Juntas Jum Juego de Pelota is a very, very bad translation of Take Me Out to the Ball Game, with every other word being subbed in for a different language. For a history of courtship, I think I saw one person get this right. The item was a spoon. Men would engraven spoons, notes and such to their lover that they would give. Why spoons? I don't know. The reason for the picture of Alan Rickman from the 90s is because if anyone here has seen Robin Hood from the 90s, not a good film. But Alan Rickman does remark that, he will cut out your heart with a spoon because it will hurt more, you twit. The revolution in 1688 that led to the replacement of James II for his daughter Mary II. Once again, this is one where I had to go, you're technically right. You're not using the word I would use, but you're technically right. The revolution was the Glorious Revolution. The people who fought to try and stop the Glorious Revolution were the Jacobites. So if you put down either Glorious Revolution or Jacobites, I gave you a point. Otherwise, I'm not taking Royal Revolution as something. I'm not taking Loyalist Revolution, I think was another one, or Oliver Cromwell as one that I would accept. Beyond our size, Phobos and Deimos, the twin moons of this planet, Mars, are named in relation to their mythological counterpart where they would follow him into battle. Mars was the Roman word for the god of war. Phobos and Deimos were the words for fear and panic, or the demigods for fear and panic. So where war goes, fear and panic follow. Beneath our eyes, the cell wall is what allows for plants to appear stiff and rigid, in contrast to the more animal cell's flexible nature due to lacking one. It makes the plant cells be very constricted in terms of how they can move and such. When the saints, this was Saint Francis Xavier, founder of the Jesuits, the patron saint, I believe, or one of the saints is heavily tied to the Christian missionary group I was involved with in university. Yeah. Somebody put down Aola. I think his feast day is the same, but I was specifically looking for Francis Xavier here. Nerd School. For students at the fictional Xavier Institute for Higher Learning, where all different races, beliefs, and creeds are united by the fact that they are mutants. Someone put down superpowers, to which, as much as I'd love to give you points for that because you are almost on the money, people like Beak live less of an existence as superheroes and more an existence of being permanently deformed to look like they have a bird's face. They have no super strength, their bones are brittle, they're just mutated differently. And let's end on a high note. As many of you guessed, this was from the SpongeBob SquarePants musical. One of you put down Best Day Ever, which is the SpongeBob musical episode. You were right. So I did give you the point that it was SpongeBob, but I was specifically looking for the name of the musical. And let me just switch over to the scores, just really quick, to update everyone on the progress. Scores as of the end of round 3 is St. Albert has 16 points. Wait, no, did I add that? St. Albert is 24. Gosh, Jordan, St. Albert is 24. St. Therese of give me 1 second while I double check because now I'm doubting this. St. Therese of Avila has 24. St. Therese of Lisieux has 33. St. Isidore has 34. Team St. Thomas the Apostle has 22. Team St. Jean of Arc has 22. Team St. Patrick has 19. Team St. Balthazar has 20. Team St. John of the Cross has 16. And Team St. Jude has 19. I cannot math today. My apologies. 1 second while I just double check and make sure that no, did I not? 1 second. I should have updated the score for the Jacobites fought for the House of Stuart. Yes, Donald. They were who I was talking about when I said they were who I was talking about when I said that. But somebody put down Royal Revolution, which unfortunately is too not specific for me to accept because there's been a wait. What? St. John of the Cross? Did you submit your answer twice? What did I? Okay. When did you submit your answer, St. John of the Cross? Okay, well, you didn't get all the answers correct, so I'm going to assume that your answers were correct. I'm going to assume you didn't cheat on this, but let me add your score up to it because I thought I had everyone in, and then no, I just can't count tonight, evidently. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Back to the trivia. We will go to round 4. This is the final round. If you haven't used your bonus at this point, I just want to let everyone know that this is the only time when you can use it. If you haven't used it yet, I would highly recommend using it for obvious reasons. I'm just going to take a second because I have been flawed tonight. You, Donald, yes, you put Stewards. Wait, no. Give me 1 second while I double check your score. Team are you again? Ah, St. Thomas. Also, I was specifically putting down the name of the revolution, but Thomas, did I double? Okay, yeah. 24 points for you, Donald, then. 24 points. Okay, round 4. Question 1. Beneath our eyes, there's three kinds of muscle in our body: skeletal muscle, used for voluntary movements such as walking or exercising; smooth muscle, which covers the inner organs and handles involuntary actions, like swallowing, breathing, that kind of stuff; and this type of muscle, which exists in only one part of your body but gives its name to it. Let's see if there's any other questions. Question 2. A history of courtship. In Ireland, this common item in medieval communities, while impractical today both because of size and weight, was thought to be a sign of good luck and can be seen today either as a pin or lace being embroidered with it. Projecting an image. Best known as a vulgar comic before playing Danny Tanner on Full House, this actor eventually learned to play the contrast between the two roles for further comedic effect. Because, honestly, let's be clear, there's nothing funnier than seeing somebody do a straight stand up routine that's just completely PG or completely G rated and then just dropping a single swear into it. It's called a precision F bomb for a reason. Owen the Saints. Though she lived for only 24 years before passing away due to this illness, right, due to passing away, not this illness, due to passing away to illness, not this illness. This saint, whose feast we celebrate on October 3rd, was called the greatest saint of modern times by Pope Pius X. Viva la Revolution. The Neolithic Revolution is one of the oldest revolutions in how humanity operated, being a term that is often used to describe what phenomenon that defined most of the rest of human civilization and human history. And for our next dish, King Charles IX's reign in France was a time of great tension of religious debate, beginning roughly 4 decades after the Protestant Revolution. Of course, this wasn't the only violence of the time, with a notable exception being sellers of this breakfast dish made from dough and heated up, as they were eventually required to be no less than 4 yards apart from each other due to repeated violence from merchants. Nerd School. In Dungeons and Dragons, there exist 8 schools of magic for wizards. I want you to name me as many as you can. Winner of this is whoever names the most or ties for the most. If you all name 4 categories, you all win. If one of you names 8, only the 8th person wins. Only person who names all 8 wins. It might seem a bit weird, but I'm wanting to name 8. And most of them, I'm wanting for the maximum number of this. It might seem weird, but oh well. It's 8 schools of magic. For the national sports category, while not officially considered as national sports, China has this popular recreational game be viewed as such, in which two players play a much smaller version of a more conventional sport in how we think about it. Beyond our size, despite what Han Solo may boast in Star Wars, parsecs are not a unit of time, but a unit of measurement, representing 3.26 of this of what no of what no representing 3.26 of what this unit 3.26 watts. I'm looking for the measurement that follows after 3.26. I did not get the chance to fully proofread this. Again, my apologies. I'm double checking something. 2, 3, 5, 6. Yeah. This was question 9. Question 10 is, of course, let's end on a high note. This 2010's fantasy rock opera, an adaptation of a 2000s young adult novel, ends the story with the lead characters enlightened by their journey, singing the following song. No, I'm never gonna once have it easy. I'll make mistakes, but my own, and it frees me. Summer's over, it's time to begin. And if you're looking for trouble, then count me in. Bring on the monsters, bring on the monsters, bring on the real world. Bring on the monsters, bring on the real world. Ah, my voice was not liking that there. Look, I used to run karaoke here, Nick. I used to. And then I left, and it's never been the same. 2 and 3 per justice request. Number 2, a history of courtship. In Ireland, this common item in medieval communities, while impractical nowadays because of both its size and weight, was thought to be a sign of good luck at a wedding, and can still be seen today with either a pin or lace being embroidered with it. And just give me 1 second, I want to see if I've got any. And number 3, Best known as a vulgar comic before playing Danny Tanner, this actor eventually learned to play the contrast between the two roles for further comedic effect. I'm looking for the actor's name here. Number 5? Okay. Should be Viva la Revolution. The Neolithic Revolution is one of the oldest revolutions in how humanity operated, being a term used to describe what phenomenon that defined most of the rest of human history. I have to put most there because, while it's common for 99% of civilizations to have it, there are some exceptions. Should be number 5. Okay, yeah, that is number 5. And 6. Okay. And for our next dish, King Charles IX's reign in England, no, reign in France, was a time of great tension of religious debate, beginning roughly 4 decades after the Protestant Revolution. Unfortunately, of course, this wasn't the only violence in the period, with a notable example being sellers of this breakfast dish, made from dough and heated up, as they were eventually required to be no less than 4 yards apart from each other due to repeated violence from merchants. Has anyone submitted their form? Because I have not gotten any forms yet, which is making me wonder if it's a Google issue or if it's a me issue. Oh, no, there we go. They all just came in at once. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. I really regret picking the Dungeons and Dragons question now because somebody put all 8 in, or somebody put 8 in, and I have to double check each one because they're not arranged alphabetically. Two, 6. Kodiak OS. Team St. Patrick, I just want to note, who's in Team St. Patrick? Yes. Okay. And with that, I am done grading, so we will go through the final questions, and then we will reveal the final results. For beneath our eyes, the three kinds of muscles that the human body has is skeletal muscle, used for voluntary movements such as waving, talking, walking, all that stuff. Smooth muscle, which is used for digestion, breathing, all that other stuff. And cardiac muscle, which exists solely in your heart. For a history of courtship, the common item that I was looking for that can be found inside of that can be found usually embroidered, usually pinned, or usually done in some ceremonial way on Irish weddings, is a horseshoe. Generally, I don't think most people want to be carrying around about a 5-10 pound horseshoe these days when they're walking down the aisle. It would also make throwing, the bouquet of flowers a little bit more deadly than what I think it's intended to be. The actor best known for being a vulgar comic before playing Danny Tanner on Full House was Bob Saget, who, the first time I watched one of his stand-up routines after watching him in Full House was a slap in the face, to say the least. Dude used to be so much worse in terms of, well, not so much worse, but used to be very much a vulgar comic beforehand. The saints that I was looking for here was Saint Teresa Lisieux. I apologize to the team who I did screw up on this partially by accidentally having two thises in this statement. With two thises in this statement. With me intending for the saint. I thought I clarified that in the chat, but I apologize for that. I wish I could have taken your answer, but I was specifically looking for the saint. Viva la Revolution, the Neolithic Revolution, is not about the wheel, as some people put down. It is about agriculture, because most of society, after the Neolithic Revolution, settled down, formed farming communities. The wheel technically is involved in most farming communities, but places specifically in South America did not typically use the wheel, or did not typically have it in the same capacity that, say, somewhere like Sumeria, Egypt, ancient Greece did. So the wheel's kind of correct, but I was looking for agriculture, and agriculture is the correct term. So I'll just answer this one by going. Everyone knows that Denny's is the place where you go to get food when you're drunk. Waffle House is a place to go when you have no self-respect. Because evidently, even 500 years ago, not 500, 450 years ago, when King Charles's reign was going on, people were still stabbing each other over waffles. Yeah, I don't understand it either. The Actually, wait, I have to double check one thing because I don't think I accounted for it in the score. 1 second. I have to open up a separate notepad for it and everything. I think is it? There are 8 types of School of Magic for wizards, specifically, is what I was looking for. Some of you put down druidic schools. While those are schools of magic, they are not schools of magic wizards can specify in, which unfortunately means that they do not count. The 8 schools of magic are abjuration, alteration, conjuration, divination, enchantment, illusion, invocation, and necromancy. The person who got the most right was Team Saint Teresa of Lisieux, who got down necromancy, transmutation, conjuration, evocation, enchantment, No, sorry. They put down transmutation when it's alteration, technically. But otherwise, they had necromancy, conjuration, evocation. What? Sorry, I'm now double checking. Necro transmutation. Yeah, they had the most right. They had 6 or 7. Um, I might have to double check on that, but they had 6 or 7. I definitely remember seeing the most number of correct names in there. Um, the not national sport of China, even though it is very popular there, is table tennis. Um, don't know how many of you have seen Forrest Gump. The fact that Forrest plays ping pong in it is what made me think of this for this category in this question. Specifically, ping pong against China during the Vietnam War, if my memory serves correct. Beyond our size, parsecs are not a measurement of time, unlike what Han Solo boasts about the Kessel One being able to do it in less than 12 parsecs. It's a unit of measurement representing 3.26 light years, or astronomical units is the other word for it technically. Um, yeah, I don't know how you do a distance in less time. Star Wars writers have tried to justify it for the past decades, and so trying to justify how it did it in less than 12 parsecs, I don't want to know. And then the final one. This was person. This musical was the Percy Jackson musical, The Lightning Thief, which is coming to my city very shortly. So I've been listening to the soundtrack, just vibing with it, which is why I kind of chose it for this category. But anyways, on to the part that everyone. Nick, which team are you? Right now, I can check that easier than I can see the. I. It's not the same as Final Fantasy, Donald. I used the Black Mage image because I could not think of a good wizard image. Um, Saint Isidore? I mean, you guys put down 8. It's just that the 8 that you put down are not the 8, or not all 8. The official list per Wizards of the Coast is necromant is abjuration, alteration, conjuration, divination, enchantment, illusion, invocation, and necromancy. You put down necromancy, transmutation instead of alteration, conjuration, evocation, which isn't listed on the list, even though invocation is. Um, enchantment, illusion, divination, and abjuration. So if I take the 2 halves correctly, it's technically 7. Like, you have the right idea, you just don't have the right name for it. As in, transmutation is alteration and evocation is invocation, but it's just not the entirely correct words. Yeah, I'm going to send the pictures after everyone involved in this, obviously. Obviously, I have that kind of money. And finally, to the scores. Final scores as of the end is Team St. Albert with 38 points. Team St. Teresa of Avila with 38 points. Team St. Teresa of Lisieux with 39 points. Team St. Isidore with 41. Team St. Thomas the Apostle with 30. Team St. Jeanne d'Arc with 28. Team St. Balthazar with 30. Team St. John of the Cross with 28. And Team St. Jude with 31. So, to put it into a not terrible format that I probably should have been adapting from the start, that means third place is a tie between St. Albert and Teresa of Avila. Second place is Team St. Teresa Lisieux, and first place is Team St. Isidore. So congratulations on the victory, Frederica and Nave. Okay, I'm. What do you want me to double check, Titsia? Because I don't think you'll. I don't think. Or you don't. Or you wanted me to double check the point total, or you wanted me to double check which particular thing? Because I have a record of the point totals. I didn't just replace the slides every time. And I have the. Balthazar was 12. Yeah, you guys ended on 30. You got 10 from the points. You didn't. You ended on 30. I don't know. No, no. Last round you won. You got 10 points last round because you doubled your score. Round two, you got 8 points. You went. Let me get it back up in the slideshow. You got 8 points round one, 4 points round two, 8 points round three, 5 points, which was doubled round four. Yeah, that makes our winners as of the moment be St. Teresa of Isidore, provided there's nothing that Discovery reveals was missed. I will see you all in the lounge or move or elsewhere, but if there's any further issues, this video will be up for replay in the event that anyone needs to double check anything. Yo.